Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at two games that were played last weekend in Middle East North Africa's RLCS Regional number 3 for the spring split. The first of these two is going to be Falcons versus Veloce, and we're on Senzo POV. So we're watching Senzo playing against his old team, of course, with his new team. He's playing with SMW and Impressive. There's also a fourth player on this team, Twiz, and they kind of rotate who's playing and who's not playing, depending on who has more schoolwork any given weekend, from what I understand. But really cool, 4-man roster. These guys are going to be at the World's Wildcard event, so there's a chance that we'll see them at the official World Championship at the end of the season. You're definitely going to want to keep an eye on this team at that World's Wildcard. I think they've got a great shot of making top 8. But okay, why are we looking at this game, and why are we looking at Middle East games today? Well, two reasons. Number one, this game actually comes from the series where, spoilers, Falcons suffered their biggest defeat in the entire season in the Middle East North Africa region. They won every event this year. They took all 9, but this series was their only series that they played in the entire season in Middle East North Africa where they were outscored by their opponents. Even in the other 2 losses that they had, one to Scythes, one to Kola, they actually had more goals overall in the series than both the teams who beat them. In this series, Veloce were able to completely outscore Falcons, send them into the lower bracket, where of course Falcons regained and got their revenge later on in the tournament before winning the entire thing. So, what's the second reason for this? Because obviously that's cool and all. Great to see competition. Great to see teams stepping up to the mighty Falcons. But there is another reason. That's because yesterday Ahmad tweeted that MENA should have more than one spot at the majors next season. And this is a topic that's been widely discussed recently with the success of Falcons in Middle East, really raising a lot of questions about the region. A lot of people see Falcons winning 9 out of 9 regionals, and they think, well, clearly that is a one-team region. This is a region where there are no other good teams and no other teams that are ready to compete on the world stage, and one spot for Middle East at majors is all they need, and that should remain like that. Of course, referring to the fact that, comparing to the fact that South America get 2 spots at majors, OCE get 2 spots, APAC get 1, of course, and North America and Europe both get 5 each. So, it's really the comparison with South America and OCE that mostly gets brought up. A lot of people say, well, if South America and OCE get 2 each, then Middle East should get 2 each as well. So, a lot of things to talk about there. But one thing that I think is undeniable is that the Middle Eastern region, outside of Falcons, has a ton of talent. We're looking at Senzo's new team here, Veloce, with SMW and Twiz. There's just a lovely pre-jump goal there from Senzo, absolutely ridiculous. But these guys are obviously a threat. They weren't able to get the better of Falcons in this event overall. Falcons came back through lures and won it, but they did get the better of them in this one series. And I think you can clearly see by the way that they play that they're very mechanical, very fast, and when they're playing with confidence, they could definitely take it to Falcons, who are no doubt one of the best teams in the world. I mean, there's not really any debate about that anymore after how well they played in the fall major and how confident and consistent they've been throughout the entire season in the Middle East North Africa region. But that's just one team. We're going to see Kola in the next game against Veloce, and you guys can make a decision for yourself whether or not you think that team is at the level to compete internationally. I certainly think that they are, but we're not going to get the chance to see that because they formed in the final split of the entire season for Middle East North Africa, so they didn't accumulate enough points to make it to the World's Wildcard. So yeah, Kola, another great team. Veloce, Kola with of course Naupo and Senzo and leading Veloce. You've also got teams like Anka, led by their star player Telem. You got Scythes in the winter split, really taking it to Falcons multiple times with Fahad making a statement breakthrough in 3s for the first time, a player that we've seen a ton in 1v1 in the past. And also one other very interesting team, O1 Esports, who are, that team's comprised of AMS, Moss and his Onyx AMS, you guys will remember from 1v1s as well, of course, famously stopping the ball on the goal line against Evo and telling him to come to his side of the field. But those guys have got a chance actually to compete at the World's Wildcard. It's depending on how well Falcons perform at the London Major. If Falcons finish top 6, if they finish top 4, it's almost a certainty that O1 Esports will also get taken along to the wildcard. Top 6 is possible. I think even top 8 is possible, but it's unlikely. That would rely on other results. So look out, if Falcons get top 6 at the London Major, then we're going to see probably another team, O1 Esports as well as Veloce, at the World's wildcard. But yeah, that's just a list of teams that I think are definitely at the level where they're ready to compete internationally. I don't think they're going to be all contending for tournaments and being favorites in every matchup that they play in. I definitely think Falcons are a level of their own in the Middle East region, but these other teams are getting closer and closer, and they're definitely very talented. And I think the play style of Middle East will definitely match up well against other regions on land. These guys are fast, they're mechanical, they're confident, they don't hesitate. And when they get more international practice in, they're only going to improve. So I think this is a great region. I think that there are many solid teams who are definitely going to be a threat on land to literally anyone they play. I mean, these days there are countless teams that are capable of beating the absolute best on their day, and I think Middle East have got lots of teams like that. But we'll continue this discussion as we get into the second game of today's video. That was a stunning performance from Senzo, 901 points against his old team, and that was the series winning game as well. So great stuff from Veloce and Senzo in particular. Let's take a look at Cola now versus this same Veloce team. Okay, here we go. So Cola versus Veloce. We're on board with Naupo. A lot of people have different names for this guy. I think they call him Nobo on the Middle East stream, because in Arabic I've been informed that there is no letter P, so they just use B instead. I've heard apparently Jack call him Nwippo. I've heard people call him Nwapo or Nwapo. I'm not sure, but I've heard a bunch of different names. I think Naupo is the one that both looks and sounds the coolest, so that's what I tried to call him. But this guy just turned 15 in time for the spring split. Got on a team with two Middle East veterans in Ali and Ven, and these guys have been top 2 team or on a top 2 team in the region even before they were allowed to play in RLCS. So really stacked roster, and the roster who actually accumulated the second most points. Crazy save there from Naupo. But yeah, they accumulated the second most points for the spring split, able to just beat out Veloce for that standing. Like I mentioned previously, we're not going to see them at World's Wildcard. They didn't form early enough in the season to accumulate enough points, but I think next season, if they stick together, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. I think Naupo in particular is going to be a player to be reckoned with. But credit to the full team. I think Venom and Ali also performed brilliantly on this roster, and they're such a joy to watch. But okay, back to the discussion we were having previously, and more specifically now talking about Middle East and how they compare with other regions. So I think obviously EU and North America have got the most really high level teams, and the most amount of teams that are ready to compete and win on a world's level, on a world stage internationally. But I honestly believe, and obviously there's no proof of this because we've never seen any team outside of Sandrock Gaming one time in the fall split competing at an international land, but I really believe that Middle East is the third strongest region, not just because I think Falcons are better than any team coming out of South America and OCE, but also because I think that the other teams below Falcons in the Middle East North Africa region are better than the best of the rest in SAM and OCE as well. Now, OCE is getting more and more stacked every single split. Recently we've seen the rise of Kansas City Pioneers there, taking down Renegades and Power, the former Ground Zero roster. So we're seeing even teams like Kaka's Minions and OCE starting to step up. OCE is definitely improving. In South America, likewise, there's a lot of rosters in SAM who have done well. We saw Team Secret in the winter split taking G2 to Game 5. We saw I've actually just blanked. Is it Era? I think it was Era Eternity taking Vitality to Game 5 and actually starting really hot against NRG in the fall split. I think South America's had great performances with their second best team. OCE, 2 teams at both lands looking competitive as well, winning series in Renegades point of view, but also in KCP's point of view, nearly reverse sweeping BDS. These are regions that are getting results. OCE and SAM are getting results. I'm not at all bringing up this discussion to diminish their achievements. I just want to put it into perspective just how good of a region I think Middle East is and how good these teams are, and I can't wait for World's Wildcard to finally see if they can perform at that level and show that they're ready. But the topic of discussion for this video, and the thing that you guys should definitely weigh in on is how many spots do you think Middle East North Africa should have next season at majors? Ahmad thinks they should have one more, and to be honest, I think I agree. I think that Middle East North Africa is a region that should have the same amount of spots at majors as OCE and SAMs. We actually get a bit of an okay here. I didn't know about that. Okay, so it looks like somebody disconnected, but the admin reset it to a kickoff, so here we go from 2-0. I forgot that happened in this game. But yeah, I think Middle East, South America, OCE should all have 2 each, and I don't think that you should take away any spots from other regions to make that possible. I think the dream scenario next season would be adding in another spot for MENA, and probably, well, if possible, if it's logistically possible, give Sub-Saharan Africa a spot as well. They're obviously going to be taking part at the World's Wildcard, but they didn't play at majors throughout the year, so I imagine long-term plan would be for them to indeed play at the majors. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I think that you should probably have them all being the same level, not favouring one region over the other. Same way that EU and NA have got the same amount of spots at majors. Obviously, when it comes to auto-qual spots for Worlds, you can have regions competing against each other for those auto-qualification spots, but I really do believe that things like wildcard events and majors should be fixed and should be kept consistent. And even though I think Middle East is the next best region after NA and EU, I think it would be quite fair to have them having the same amount of spots as OCE and South America. Yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think the solution is? It's obviously quite a tough situation for RLCS in the future, because 16 teams is a really nice number to have competing at majors, and like I mentioned, I don't think it's a good idea to take spots away from teams at majors. I think that it's good to keep that the way it is. So yeah, definitely a difficult discussion and not an easy solution to reach, but yeah, my own opinion is that I think Middle East has more than one great team. Falcons just did the unthinkable and took every single event. They were sent to the lower bracket 3 times between this split and the last split. So between in the 6 events between the winter split and the spring split, they won 3 of them from the lower bracket. They lost 3 times, but they just leveled up every time they got sent to the lower bracket. They just somehow got even better and came out on top. So absolutely crazy achievement from Falcons to win all the events over such a stacked lineup containing teams like Cola, Veloce, O1, Anka, Scythes. These are not easy teams to beat. We see upsets all the time now in OCE and in North America, in SAM, in EU, in every region we see upsets, but one team that consistently bounced back from every loss they've had is Falcons. And the teams below them are going to need to level up again. They have leveled up a lot to close the gap, but they're going to need to level up again to actually beat them in an event. So one thing to summarize again is we are going to see Veloce at the World's Wildcard event. Familiarize yourself with this team. I expect to see Twiz playing as well. They've got a 4-man roster, so hopefully we'll get whatever they consider the strongest iteration to play, and we're hopefully going to see more of Naupo, Venom, and Ali next season. These guys are absolute beasts as well. Who knows, maybe when Roas and Kalirs, I think they're turning 15 now as well, so Middle East has even more talent. I mean, Middle East is just too good. I think they're just too good to only have one spot at majors next season. That's just my opinion, and I can't wait to see the World's Wildcard, whether it's Veloce or Veloce and O1, whether it's Veloce and Falcons. It's either going to be Veloce and Falcons in the wildcard, or Veloce and O1 in the wildcard and Falcons in the main event directly. Whichever it is, can't wait. It's going to be super entertaining to see. One of the best events of the entire year. Something I'm massively looking forward to. That's all I wanted to show you guys for today. A couple of phenomenal games here from Senzo and Naupo individually, just putting up crazy numbers in 5-0 wins. But plenty of entertainment to see coming out of this region. Definitely give MENA a watch if you're not someone who watches Middle East Rocket League on the RLCS. The RLCS events that come out of this region, I would absolutely recommend it to you. If you like Rocket League, if you like fast-paced, mechanical Rocket League, confident Rocket League, then you're going to love what you see from MENA. If you like NA, EU, Rocket League, you're going to love what you see from MENA. SAM as well. I mean, every region's coming out with more mechanical players these days, so definitely give it a watch. I'm sure you're going to love what you see. But for now, guys, that's all I wanted to show you. Congrats to Veloce on qualifying for Wildcard. Good luck, Falcons, at the London Major, trying to pull O1 into wildcard as well by securing a auto-qual spot for ME. Middle East, North Africa, I should say. And for all of you guys, have a great rest of your day. And let me know in the comments what you think on this topic. Cheers for now.